if you have more than 40% from one supplier, it's a huge risk, but you need to participate and think a little bit ahead and have different products to see what's working. So don't just blindly push to one. Try a few, and I would say 10-15% share of all, it's a healthy revenue share, like to keep your business growing independently, and then you can enforce the rules.
This podcast is sponsored by Pragmatic Solutions, the player account management platform chosen by today's smart betting and gaming operators. Don't let technical constraints delay you from achieving your business goals. Expand your business, boost your margins, and dominate the market in any leading regulated jurisdiction with our powerful, flexible, and secure iGaming platform. Enjoy its extensive marketing tools, compliance protection, real-time data, and a wide portfolio of over 1,000 industry providers. It's time to upgrade your technology. Let Pragmatic Solutions show you the modern approach. Visit pragmatic.solutions and join the smart thinkers.
This podcast is brought to you by Pragmatic Play, a leading game developer providing player favorites to the most successful brands across the industry. With an award-winning multi-product portfolio of slots, live casino, bingo, virtual sports, and more, Pragmatic Play is powering up new possibilities of play through one single API. Visit pragmaticplay.com and discover your favorite every time.
Bingo, bango, Nadiya Attard, good friends since way back. Martin Martirosyan, I've been having the pleasure of getting to know you recently. How are you guys doing today?
Absolutely fantastic, and really glad to be at your podcast now.
Brilliant. And Nadiya, you okay today as well? Ready for a long week?
Yes, already started on Sunday.
Yeah, yes. Oh, you started a little early even.
Yes, because you started events on Sundays already. So
yeah.
the gimmicks and everything. So we're ready to roll, and thank you for hosting us here.
Oh my goodness, we're keeping people busy here this week, that's for sure. Yeah. So, Nadiya, you recently joined Imagine Live here as a new CCO. Obviously, you have an incredible background in industry, 20 plus years in some of the biggest companies, the biggest pioneers in the game studio and live space. What attracted you to join Imagine Live?
It's always coincidence. I never plan. I never look for a job. The job always finds me, and it's always like very strange situation. So I knew about the guys for a while, and because I've been in the live space in my career like some years ago, and I knew some people behind the scene as well. But I would say the most thing which impressed me overall was the size of the studio and the company. So when I went and saw the product, I was blown away. I didn't expect it from the company, seriously. And that's why it's one of the cases where the product is so much better than actually people know about it. And this is something I would like to bring to this industry, and I want people to experience this good product, because a lot of companies unfortunately offer something which they believe is good. And we have a different situation where we have something which is really good, but people don't know about it. So that's my job basically to do.
Brilliant. And Martin, Imagine Live, obviously born from Digitain out in Armenia. You're the CEO for the company. Can you give us a little bit the background to Imagine Live, and where did it come from, and where are you guys today?
Sure. So as you correctly mentioned, the Imagine Live has been born from the Digitain Group wider. So it's been only 7-table live casino called Digitain Live Casino back in 2022, and then we started rapidly growing the business. So nowadays we are having more than 150 tables. We are set up in the 3 jurisdictions in terms of the studios. So we have the studios in Armenia, in Romania, and very recently we opened a studio in Spain as well. And that's kind of now where we are heading. Localization, product premium quality for our operators, correctly mentioned by Nadiya. So, and this is something that we want to offer to the industry: technology, innovation, and the quality. And obviously doing everything very quick.
Yes.
That's the Armenian way as well. So we have a really interesting conversation today. There's so much happening in the live segment at the moment. We're going to try to break up this conversation in 3 different parts today. First and foremost, to talk about this new interesting trend that is emerging in the industry with AI live dealers. So there are some interesting startups that are working in that space today. Like, do the players actually, are they actually asking for that? What does this new kind of product category mean? Then the second part, we will talk as well about Imagine Live's AI strategy itself. How are you guys working with AI? And then the third point is the kind of global live casino outlook from a global perspective. There's so much happening. The incumbents are kind of trying to grip onto their kind of somewhat monopolies, but at the same time, up-and-comers are now gaining market share. So we'll kind of break down that a little bit more. But starting on the AI side of things, there are some new entrants that are making noise currently. I'm thinking about Avanti Studios that just launched this kind of AI live solution that is replacing the dealers fully. There are some other interesting startups called Animo, which is kind of doing, how would you say, like augmented reality then, where actual live dealer, but with an overlay of any type of character. Interesting movements in the side now. Obviously AI capabilities are getting better. AI animated videos are becoming indistinguishable from reality. Martin, does this mean in the future that like the actual real live casino segment is being phased out currently? Like, will we see just AI generated dealers taking over this segment, do you think?
I don't share that views, Pierre. I would be very honest with you, because we shouldn't be forgetting what the live casino is about. So it's about the emotions, it's a human interaction, it's about communication, and when having fully changed the live dealers with the animated or AI solutions there, that doesn't anymore in a live casino. It's a kind of a new type of RNG game there, because what the players really like in the live casino is that interaction, that human interaction, which with the AI then you will be missing. This is something, a different product, which I think there will be in a place for that, definitely in the gaming industry, but it will not be substituting the live casino. This is my opinion. And another point there is very important, that there is a misleading kind of a communication around what the AI is about. We in Imagine Life, and I think that's the right way, to me at least, the AI is more about the infrastructural changes than just a feature that you add to something new. Because if you think about the AI as an infrastructure change, as a fundamentally where to use the AI to make your processes more effective, to make your kind of deliveries quicker, easier, smarter, technologically wise enhanced, then you definitely take way more from the AI than just using it as a kind of a marketing feature, or kind of having this or that kind of elements done with the AI. So it's a different thinking. Some people will agree, some people will disagree, but that's the way how I see the AI goes in the future, and I think this is the ideology we share in Imagine Life in terms of the AI.
Brilliant. And Nadiya, I mean, are the players actually asking for this type of product in general? Like, when you speak to operators, is I imagine that the purpose for this type of product is to cut costs, essentially, right?
That's what I was just thinking when you asked this question. You stole it from me. Yeah. So that was the first idea, basically. Like, when you originally asked the questions, that like cost cutting, like, as a CCO, like how can we decrease the cost? But the reality is, market is not ready yet. So I've been working with with the companies through all my career, which draws the innovation. So I was very fortunate to be ahead of the game. And the downside of it that basically you're ready as a company, you believe it's something great, but your audience, your players are not ready. So I don't think that the players are ready for AI dealers yet in the market. There is a niche, yes, like with anime, and I believe that, with this new studio Jonas is driving, it's true that there is innovation there, but the players still want traditional, and at the moment it's a very niche product, plus it requires a lot of education and understanding. Players are still not ready for it, so it's cool, but is it going to fly yet? Not really, at least in the coming 1 or 2 years, I don't see it's happening. Having said that, the technology behind the scenes, AI behind the scenes, this is something which is needed because it helps you to save the costs, it helps you to enhance the product, it helps you to give better quality product and much more efficient product, because there are a lot of things behind the scene and basically drives your cost up, and also like, for example, fraud things like dealers behavior and so on, and this is something where AI can definitely helps and helping out. But for now, dealer-wise, I think it's an interesting thing which has potentially specific niche. Is it going to drive you a lot of revenues like traditional casinos? Not in the next 2 years.
It's another type of the business. So it's another game. It's a RNG game, basically.
Okay. So there is another element here, I suppose, on the integrity front of adding an AI-generated live casino stream, right? Which operators need to take a decision. Should you kind of have a disclaimer that this is a AI-generated product at the end of the day? Because imagine eventually if this product becomes indistinguishable from an actual live product, does that responsibility fall on the operator? And if so, how do the players feel about kind of knowing that they are playing an AI-generated stream? Again, like going back to the element of why are you playing live casino? Maybe there is a trust element there and so on. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to know. I would prefer, at least in my world, I would like to know. I would like to assume that it's a real dealer, even if it's AI. Also, they look like with those AI videos and so on, they look basically very genuine. Having said that, was something interesting. We were doing a photo shoot a few weeks ago, and the guy actually told that the professional photographer that he can say if it's AI generated image or not, like really, even if it's. I was impressed. So I guess it comes also with your experience and the quality. He says they cannot do like that. For me, if you show 2 images, a lot of pictures on LinkedIn and so on nowadays, like the AI generated, and I wouldn't see the difference, but the person who works with this, like I can tell you straight away.
Yeah. Isn't this, Martin, I mean, in the future, then you would imagine as a player, maybe I really want to play a genuine, authentic live stream. And if operators are not kind of putting a disclaimer whether this is AI generated or not, I will probably look at the brands that I trust, let's say. So say, for example, Imagine Live is a brand that I trust as a player. I would probably look for that as my signal that I know that I'm playing a real game, for example. Is that an element? Do you think that authenticity piece,
I think, yes, you are absolutely right. But I mean, in terms of the disclaimers and making it open, I think we shouldn't be forgetting a couple of things there. The first thing is responsible gaming. And one of the core elements of the responsible gaming is the transparency. So you need to be very transparent as a provider, as an operator towards to your players. And we shouldn't be forgetting about the regulators over there, because they are also the ones that we need to count their opinion in terms of when you impose the AI dealers avatars to the players. So I think this is a black box, I would say, that yet we will hear opinions over there, because these things are growing rapidly now. But we haven't get enough feedback from the regulators, and in terms of how the responsible gaming will adjust to these new realities. And but if we are back to that out of anything, I think my opinion is the transparency and the trust is a key. So you need to be very transparent what you are offering to your players, and including if you are replacing the people with animes or something, you have to kind of explain it properly to your players, and then it's up to them to choose.
Yeah, no, I suppose it is a bit of a generational thing, and as well, like we are just growing up with the way it's always been kind of thing, but maybe the new generation is more and more going to ask for this product at the end of the day.
You're right, yeah, about these things, because actually, like, we saw the studios, some of the studios you mentioned, we actually saw them in person as well. Back in the days, and it's true, like, for example, at the moment it's very appealing to the younger demographics and more like a crypto players and so on, which if you look to the whole history of the gaming, it's a very different type of games and different type of behavior as a player in general, but it's still evolving. So potentially for this type of demographics, like Generation Z, like we call them, maybe it would be appealing, but it takes time. But then let's not forget about another like 95% of traditional players which has demand for this product. And yeah, I agree with Martin. I also want to mention certification. How would you certify those games? The AI dealers, the behavior, everything, the patterns, the training, how you do about those things as well. And it's another interesting, like, Pandora box, I would say.
It's a Pandora box, but I mean, to continue what Nadiya said, I mean, look at to the new generation now, they're like kids. When we were kids, what was the play we were playing, like even with these gadgets, we were playing Tetris, right? And what the new generation is playing, they are playing in a metaverse. So they now the new games that they are kind of used to play, it's in a metaverse. So it's augmented reality, and this is something that it's already live. And these kids, when they will grow and some of them will become players, they obviously already started using a metaverse, etc., etc. So there will be definitely demand, and that's the technological enhancement, technological development goes to that direction. But still, people's human interaction, I think, is a key element for the live casino.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting conversation, because if you go back 40, 50 years back, the kind of digital revolution, people went from pen to paper to working on computer, but still we are producing more paper than ever in 2026. You know what I mean? It's so these revolutions is not maybe that the entire world shift one way or the other, but there's basically room for both. But it's about thinking about who am I catering to in this product, and what is the purpose in the other side of the product. And me personally, an organizer of in-person events, which is a similar position as this, we think generally that in the world of AI and kind of automated help and so on, that people will appreciate real experiences more, and perhaps this translates also into the live casino space, where that actual human being and the kind of connection you get by having an authentic experience actually increases in value. That's how we think about
it. It's a very interesting way. I haven't thought about this way, but you're right. It's actually a really interesting way to look at these things, because it becomes like a luxury. Because people...
Yeah, it's true. Good.
Even when we were kids and so on, you go like outside, you play and everything, while nowadays like kids sit actually at home.
Yeah.
And interaction with some kind of with humans, actually it might be even much more important than with reality. And then on the animated things, I saw some live casino where the dealer is a cat. Do you want to have a cat as a dealer? It's fun for some time, but then it's very different experience.
Yeah, it's an interactive kind of an option there, but at the end of the day, you want to be back to the human.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's interesting if you break down the two products, and the AI generated live studio and the in-person one, because at face value there's a lot of advantages on the AI. If it can be done and animated right, you can always have a dealer that is presented well, that looks like what the player want them to look like, and who is interacting the way they want to be interacted with. So there's like a lot of personalization there. Obviously cost goes down and so on, like we talked about the technology and so on. But at the end of the day, I think the imperfect thing about authenticity is that humans are not perfect, and we actually will appreciate more and more the fact that a real human-to-human experience is not always perfect, and so at the end of the day, I think it's important to separate those two. That it's not like you can just make the AI experience better and then everyone will go there. No, people actually want that authentic experience at the same time.
Here, the best example is the grocery shops. I mean,
right, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's I remember when we were young, the only option is to go to the grocery to buy it. Now there is almost all the supermarkets, hypermarkets, they have the online shopping. We all use that one, right? But time to time, you want to go still to the grocery shop because you want to have a touch and feel.
Vegetables and fruits, I like to
yes, exactly.
myself.
You want to squeeze your avocado.
Because the online way, you see the apples, ideal apples, really. Sometimes it's photo shoot and kind of in a Photoshop apples there, but you kind of your mind clearly understands that this is something they put it from the marketing purposes, and then you go to the shop, you touch the apples, you feel those ones, and you buy the ones that you want to buy it, and those are not ideal apples, but that's the ones you want to take it. Same to the live casinos. You get avatars, absolutely fantastic models, really nice looking, really clearly speaking, absolutely fantastic, answering to your questions the way you want to answer the questions. But at the end of the day, you understand this is the ideal world, and we are not in ideal world. So you want a really human interaction with the mistakes, with the way that they are behaving, not ideal looking, but still very personal, and it's to me it's a clear example with the grocery shops that it's there. We all use that one, but at the same time, we never skipped going to the grocery shops.
And the perfect is boring. Yeah, when you get everything you want, it becomes boring. It's a human nature. We want something.
Yeah. And we all use LinkedIn obviously a lot, and it's so hard to escape the fact in the last couple of years that LinkedIn is just flooded with AI generated content that people are just asking ChatGPT, can you write up a post for me? And it looks good. It's well formatted. It's like so beautifully laid out. But when you start reading, you notice immediately, oh, this is an AI generated post. Yeah. And your assumption is, well, I don't want to read an AI generated post. That seems lazy, And actually, I've been saying to my team that if you want people's attention, you should include some spelling error in your post because spelling error is like the 2026 version of showing that you're authentic,
I do it sometimes in my email section, and for this purpose, just that's not AI generated.
Yeah, exactly. Add a random sender or something. Okay, so super interesting. So I want to go over to the second part of the conversation today, which is then if we are establishing now that Imagine Live are kind of doubling down on that human-to-human experience, still AI tools are extremely powerful, and they do have a fit into business. It's just about figuring out where you can then kind of enhance this human-to-human experience. So I'm curious to ask you, Martin, how is Imagine Live approaching AI in general and the rapid expansion?
Thanks for the question, Pierre. I think when in the beginning I said you need to consider AI as an infrastructure, that's exactly what I mean, because the AI is not a marketing tool. It's not just a ChatGPT. It's not that kind of applications that the people are using, nor just replacing the dealers with avatars. AI is something bigger, and it's there. If you consider AI as a part of your infrastructure and you think about where you can use it, then you start benefiting from the AI in real terms. And it's about the dealers' behavior checking, it's about the risk management, it's about using AI within your technological elements like game show developments, this kind of things that we need to think about. It's about the analytics, it's about helping to understand players' behavior and suggesting something. So AI has a huge range of the possibilities out of the human's brain, or it is within the human's capacity, but it's just a time-consuming exercise. So whatever I said, you can do it with the humans, but the AI is there to deliver a speed. And that's the way how we think that AI should support the business, and not only live casino, but Imagine Live particularly. Now we are already using that one, but delivering at the speed, something that we need to consider when we are talking about AI. Bringing some more efficiency to the business. This is somewhere we need to think about. Adding another layer of the risk management. This is something we need to think about and talk about when we are talking about the AI. And this is the direction we are taking. Mm-hmm. It's we can talk for hours and hours about where we can use the AI, of how we can integrate it. I mean, very simple things like scheduling for the 24/7 dealers' schedules, right? It's up to now everybody is doing with the humans interaction, with the applications, etc. Now imagine you integrate AI to the scheduling, and it considers all the elements, and whatever job was your scheduling assistant was doing, like within 2 hours, for example, now can be done within 10 minutes. Mm. Is it a speed? Yes. It's a efficiency? Yes. It's a cost cutting? Yes. So in general terms, I think the AI needs to be looked and considered from two elements. From one element, making the business effective, cost controlled, more kind of driving efficient business, but from the other side, you shouldn't be forgetting about generating money. And where AI can work is exactly as I said, like players behaviorization, player understanding what players wants. It could be in integration with the BI assessments to give you some recommendations, which obviously you are still can take it into consideration or not, but that will give you another opinion there. Finishing with checking and understanding the player's behavior and giving recommendations where you need to concentrate your forces to make the business more effective from the perspective of profit generation, more better performing, I would say, but at the same time making you closer to the player.
And Martin, you mentioned as a very pointed example, you mentioned the scheduling, which is an obvious win using AI. Is there anything else that comes to mind in terms of like a big win that you've had where you implemented the technology for automation that you can mention?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we started, I think, 2 years ago, and AI is something when everybody is talking AI needs to learn. So you need to help AI to learn your business first, and then look for the outcome from which you can benefit. So we started 2 years ago developing and enhancing, kind of working with AI. And the first thing which we were doing was the dealer behaviors tracking. Why we were doing that? Because firstly, there was always a subjective opinion. You know, I mean, your pit bosses, your supervisors were giving an opinion which you always were considering subjective, because, I mean, they may like the person, they may not like the person. They were saying like the posture of the dealer, or smiling, or they're sleepy, or this, that. Now, all we have integrated with AI. So AI is now tracking the dealer's performance, and it's straight away linked to their performance. So effectively, what's happening there? So now you have get a very objective opinion there, because your AI is tracking that signal. What needs to be fixed goes to the dealer, it goes to the supervisor, and it's also integrated with their kind of performance indicators, which makes things more transparent, objective. And at the same time, everybody is happy because the signal and the control over the dealer's performance is immediately. So you don't have a chance that for this or that dealer, that information is skipped because the pit boss was busy with something else. So it's now on 100% 24/7 controlled environment, and that makes the overall product better. This is one thing which we have implemented, but then we have kind of expanded it, because clearly seeing the benefit of the AI, we started thinking more expanded options of using that one. And another a big opportunity for us, this was the risk management. So imagine you have a 24/7 risk management team, which is still there, and looking to the cases, suspicious cases, identifying potential frauds, etc., etc. Now you have another layer, which is AI. So you teach the AI all the kind of possible problem. So you effectively teach the AI what is right, and then it brings you back what potentially looks as a suspicious cases, and then you still have the human who is assessing that one, but you have a second 24/7 eye looking after everything and not missing anything over there. This is another big, huge opportunity for making, again, the business good, the business making the business effective, and risk control. And I think all of our operators and the partners, they really appreciate that, because they are kind of feeling confident that this is a provider which gives you not only 24/7 very traditional risk management as everybody does, but clearly another layer of prevention, control.
Brilliant. I'm curious to ask you from a commercial perspective, Nadiya. So on the RNG side, the top providers, they have different themes that they produce different games from, and the players prefer different type of various games and so on. But on the live side, a blackjack from provider A and provider B is at the end of the day is the same game, right?
It's blackjack.
So when you speak to operators, what are they looking for when considering to onboard a live casino provider? Because we talked here, for example, about player behavior, right? That's a big part, that you want your dealers to be happy, and well presentable, and make less mistakes and so on. But what at the end of the day, what is going to drive a client over the line to sign a contract in that regard?
It's changing as well. I was impressed. So you kind of you're right. You're saying that blackjack is blackjack, roulette is roulette, but markets are shifting a lot, and that's what we actually discussed yesterday on the product meeting. Because people want your classic things. Obviously, they want it high quality. They want the commercials right, and yada yada. But having said that, they want something unique. So every customer we spoke to, they want something different, and they want it fast. Ideally for yesterday, they want a new product, and this product can be either a new game show or completely new live casino product. And it's not like when in RNG, like you're saying, it's very easy to reskin the game, make it more looking, but they don't want dedicated table, for example. They just don't want a studio with their branding. They want a new product. Based on something which is for example, localization, language, and so on. And it's very different from a market to a market, even if it's the same customer. So we have a lot of kind of workshops at the moment. That's what would you like to have. I would say that I was impressed something, because when I worked at RNG at Relax, for example, there was a lot of influencers driving the RNG content. I'm seeing it a lot in live. I didn't expect it. It was something surprise. So people like big tier 1 suppliers, they're doing collaborations with influencers. They're inviting influencers to it's a new trend, hitting live. And people want influencers to be engaged with live, but it's a very different thing and something you need to solve. On the other thing as well, how can you do a new product fast? Because it's very easy to do a new reskin, very easy, relatively easy. To build a new product in live, and then certify it. It's not that simple, but I would say that's something new, which everybody's asking. Give us something unique. Give us something new. Yeah. We can put your tables, but we will promote it. But we want something special. And we're building some special things for our customers, and something will be coming very soon, I would say, in the matter of weeks. I cannot announce it yet, but it's really, really cool product. But you need to be very creative. And that's something which I like here, because we want to build something creative, something scalable, and something which we can deliver in a relatively fast speed. And we do have some good fundamentals in place, and they will help us as well.
I think you're absolutely right, Nadiya, there. But there is, I think, one thing that we need to, if we a bit step back to our AI discussion, I think it's a AI plus a localization plus a tailored solutions. That's the big win, and this is the direction that everybody is looking. So. Blackjack is a blackjack, as you correctly mentioned. Roulette is a roulette, so everybody can offer that. But when you put that, okay, I have the blackjack, I can localize it to your language, to the markets that you operate, plus I can tailor it, I can put some unique elements over there that clearly your players are looking for, plus integrating with the AI solutions, that makes the product, the same blackjack, already very unique. So then when you offer a dedicated studio to the partner with all these elements there, that makes a difference, because this is not anymore in a standard dedicated studio or dedicated table. It's something tailored, and this is really appreciated by the operators, because they see that you put a lot of efforts to tailor it. You start understanding what they ask, and you try to reflect on their needs, basically. And obviously, it's a speed.
I was about to say,
it's always a speed. Yes,
speed.
because you can do the same. You can do it for months and a month and a month and a discussion. Okay, let's think about. But this life is crazy. It's running too fast to just spend the time on the discussion. So you need to act fast, and there we go. So sometimes we catch ourselves on 24/7, trying to kind of resolve the thing quickly for the operator, because this is appreciated really by the operator. Speed, quickness, flexibility, understanding the needs, and localizing the content in that aspect. So this is all in the combination makes a successful case scenario for us and for the operators.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the client. You're so right. One of this feedback which I got personally for myself, it's you always reply within the same day. And for me, it's something normal. It's others don't. And that's something which we're now dealing with a big customer in Latam, and we send them basically just as a goodwill some ideas of branding, literally within a day. And they're oh, that's so nice. So I'm thinking others cannot do it. For me, it's something like a norm, but people love it. And that's one of the key elements where you basically customize something to them and deliver the quality without compromising obviously on the quality, but fast, because people don't have patience. Unfortunately, they want everything for yesterday, and you also something which you need to read a little bit of their mind. This is something also very crucial, because a lot of companies I notice, and this is the biggest challenge not just in the industry but in general, they think they know better than the customer. And if I want something, if I want this water and I don't want sea, I want water. So a lot of industries or companies are just pushing on customers what they think is right, and they don't listen for the feedback, and this is the road where a lot of people are failing. So it's important to listen to your customer and understand, and maybe be half a step ahead, proactive. That we see this is really good in your markets because of whatever, of the data, of research or something, and just try it out, and this also helps a lot.
Okay, I'm ready to start my live studio now. I have all the commercial playbook here. So let's jump into the third and final point today, which is let's talk about the global outlook of the live casino segment in general. We've been in this industry for a long time, Nadiya, and gone through a couple of kind of highs and lows, let's say, in the studio segment and the RNG side as well. I think back to the 2000s when kind of Playtech had their iron grip over the industry and kind of handcuffed to some extent the operators from expanding to other studios. Then came the shared wallet, and all of a sudden 100 game studios pops up, and everyone becomes very successful. You obviously were part of that shift to some extent with NetEnt having that iron grip as well at some point, then losing it obviously
completely.
Yes, and today obviously we have a very kind of consolidated market on the live studio side with incumbents that are really owning most of the share, most of the wallets of the operator clients. So it seems though that there is no space for some disruption on the live side. There are some kind of new entrants that are taking market share. You guys obviously are working hard to gain more market share as well. And so I just wanted to start on your side. Now, Nadiya, what does the space look like today? It seems like it has been extremely competitive from the incumbent side for many years, but it seems like the space is opening up a little bit more for competition these days. Is that a feeling that you share as well?
Yeah, and that's why the reason why I joined as well, because It's always, this industry is very competitive. You look in every product, it's always very competitive. Some are more competitive than others, but I think is live space, it's there is a niche, there is an opening right now because again, first of all, quality, then agility, and something which I learned through my career, you have to become humble. For example, you mentioned Natant. At one point, Natant got very greedy, very aggressive, like high rates. Don't listening to the customer feedback, and look where they are. They don't exist anymore. Having said that, that's why, and you need to be agile. So, for example, some big giants with new technologies, it's very difficult to catch up. It's like, you have a speedboat, you have your big tanker. You need to be fast. At the same time, there is so many rules, regulations, localizations, and everything. You need to cater for everybody. So you need to have a lot of infrastructure to support those things without compromising on quality. And then commercials as well. And what we're seeing, so there are a lot of new starters, newcomers, which is fun because I believe competition is always healthy. You make your product better. But at the same time, when somebody has more than 50% of your wallet, it's not healthy for the operators because then you're basically a hostage in your own infrastructure. And that's where things go downhill because what happens if supplier will come and increase the rates, introduce new fees? So people see the long, short game. I would always encourage, look 2, 3, 5 years down the line, where it gets you. Especially when you have, if you look at the global ecosystem right now, pretty much everybody has RNG plus life. And then when your share of wallet is 50, 70%, what are you going to do as an operator? Can you say no to increasing the rates? No, you cannot. So people need to think a little bit more, decrease, obviously, dependency on somebody, one or two, I would say, but also don't compromise on quality. Because, again, the feedback which a lot of operators are saying, oh, we get this, I don't know, at 2%, at 3%, at 5%. But are you sure that the quality is that good? And at the end of the day, you will end up like having a cheap product and having a super expensive product, and your players will still go to the super expensive product. So you need to find this middle ground, an underdog which can kind of deliver both. And also something which I was thinking actually this morning when I was driving here, that as operators, as end users, we don't push enough our players. We let them, we say, oh, it's a custom-driven lobby and so on, but we're not thinking about, we need to also drive players to something different. By not just positioning, promotion, but we need to think also, not like we put your product, it has to speak for itself. Players are creatures of habit. So as the other party, we also need to think, how can we drive players to start familiarizing with this product, learn it, and get used to it, because at the end of the day, it will help you down the line in 2-3 years. So that's my feedback here.
Yeah. And, going back again to the 2000s, when Playtech at that point had a massive share of wallet, almost a monopoly on the market to some extent. What would you say caused the downfall then eventually of Playtech? Because it feels a little bit like we are in a similar situation now, right? Do you draw similar conclusions from what happened then to what might happen now?
It's already happening, actually. So a colleague of mine, he was at SBC last week in Toronto, and Evolution just introduced, or maybe not just, but introduced, for example, new fees. Some kind, I think it's jurisdiction fees. So now everybody suddenly have to pay 10,000 euro per month per jurisdiction. And imagine, nowadays, every operator has at least 25 jurisdictions, I would say, every tier one. So it's 250K per month extra in fees. What can you do? Nothing, because you have live, you have RNG and everything. If we talk about pragmatic, for example, you have RNG, which is very strong, and plus live. Let's say they will decide introduce something else. What can you do again? Or increase the rates on something. You can't do much. Playtech, I really admire what they did back in 2000s. I wouldn't mention the market, but they were monopoly. And Natant just started to penetrate this market, and quite successfully. So they went literally to every single tier one operator, generating millions a month in revenues, and they told, this is your target. If you don't deliver it, we pull the plug. And everybody told, sorry, Nadiya, we really like your product. It's amazing. The pricing is great, but we cannot do anything because we have 70% over there. So that's the downside which people need to think about and differentiate a little bit. Don't put this. For me, if you have more than 30% from one supplier, it's a huge risk. But you need to participate and think a little bit ahead. And have different products to see what's working. So don't just blindly push to one. Try a few. And I would say 10-15% share of wallet, it's a healthy revenue share, like to keep your business growing independently, and then you can enforce the rules.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, as an operator, you want there to be a healthy competitive landscape because if you are beholden to one or two suppliers, you are at the mercy of those one or two suppliers.
And right. It's been proven years and years on, especially on the RNG side.
Yeah, and on the other hand, as well, I'll ask you as well, Nadiya, the outside suppliers that are trying to break in to the operators, there's also like some sort of kind of race to the bottom in terms of fees there, right? Because if you are to break through and actually sign contracts with operators, the biggest negotiation point is going to be cost, right? And is that something that is difficult as well to keep that balance, say, for Imagine Live, who are trying to bring that high quality product, but you're competing against other suppliers who are, offering much lower rate perhaps than you?
That's something, it's always the case. So commercials, like people are never happy with commercials. Even if today they're happy with commercials, tomorrow they go live, they will ask already for a discount. And it's been always there for the past 20 years since I've been in the market. The thing is that commercial, I believe personally, that commercials has to be fair and commercials has to be transparent. So this is something which I learned because I don't understand if, like, for example, okay, if you're tier one, you drive volumes, like you have this. But then, for example, tomorrow this guy who is the head of casino of a big tier one will join a startup. He would expect the same commercials, and he will get really, or she will get really offended if they will don't deliver it. So something which I learned really good from Relax is give everybody the same, be very transparent, and give competitive commercials. So that's very important. Plus, it shortens the sales cycle. You don't have this ping pong going back and forward. One has this, one has that. So this is something we actually implemented also here internally. And we're open about it as well. When you push down, again, big operators have this tendency to push you down and so on, but when I have those discussions, sometimes like people don't understand because live casino, it's not RNG. RNG, like Martin says, it's very simple. You create a game, you put it, it's running. But live casino it's a big and costly business, and it requires a lot of maintenance. And if you want, especially like if you need language tables and so on. So for example, we cover a lot of languages. But do people understand that we need to find dealers? Like if I'm talking about LATAM, for example, every country in LATAM has different accent. Like when we speak Spanish, for example. So, if you're targeting Argentina, you need to have dealers with Argentinian Spanish. Like if it's Chile, it's something else. And people don't think about it. And that's all the cost. So yes, it's raised to the bottom, but it has to be, I would go always volumes and the low margins that everybody is in ecosystem is winning. So that's kind of my view on those things.
Yeah, brilliant, Nadiya. Martin, if you think about the USPs of Imagine Live, when you think about the future and how you want to build a company and eventually break through to really grab that strong market share, what do you define as your USPs? How do you stand out in this tough market where some incumbents have grip, others are trying to compete with low price?
Thanks for the question, Pierre. I mean, when we started the live casino, we were always thinking what differentiates us, and because historically, because of the complex product, because of 24/7 operations, because of the humans being a part of all this discussion, I think the historically live casino was being concentrated with the big players there, and being a part of this show and a game within the live casino, you need to have clearly something that differentiates you. And when we talk about these USPs, I think one thing which we have firmly accepted for us that the quality is never need to be discounted. This is a kind of a firm axioma for us. So quality. Second thing is a speed, because every time when you approach the operators, they want it yesterday. So you need to be you need to keep the scale, but at the same time you need to deliver it with a speed. And third, I think, is the technology, because not many providers in the industry are paying that much attention to the technological development, what we can do more, what we can enhance, not being afraid of integrating a lot of technological aspects to the already traditional and well accepted features within the technology. So it's a kind of technological elements there. The AI is the great example. So we were not afraid to take the AI and start integrating to the technology which we are using. Yes, and a combination of this, because one of all these separately will not work. So you need to put everything in one basket, and you need to look it from the perspective, okay, we have a speed, we have a localization, as you said, like the very simple in a LATAM, different markets, different slangs being used, the same Spanish, but different pronunciations. So you need to react on that one. You need to react with the speed. You need to consider the technology there, and the most important one is the quality. Whatever you do at your best. You do the fantastic. We try to do a fantastic studios where out of the everybody who is visiting our studios, they see elements which you never see it through the camera, because the camera view is very limited, right? You see the dealer and you see the behind the wall. But what happens next to that walls? We try to create an environment for the dealers as well to feel themselves as a part of that environment and to get into that mood. Like Asian studios for the Baccarat game. It's a very traditional Asian game, right? Baccarat. You can do it one single wall behind, but we created a fully Asian atmosphere for the dealers. When they enter to the studio, they feel themselves there. And this is also all about the quality. It's a high standard quality, technology, and the speed. And combination of this I think is the key for the success.
In fact, the dragon, I thought it's a dragon because the quality was too good, but it was they have in the Asian studios the dragons. They actually got it.
Yeah, the real dragon, but it's moving around, moving and around.
It's real.
Sometimes if you want, but it's roaring as well. It makes really an environment authentic.
Brilliant. Okay, so as a final question here today, I'm keen to hear, now we kind of analyzed where we are today in the live segment. We talked about AI and this kind of new disruptive capabilities, potentially where the commercial side is heading. And to close today, I'm keen to hear your prediction on where you see Imagine Live in 3 years' time, and also where do you see the live segment in 3 years' time? Maybe starting with you, Martin, if you want to make some hard predictions here, then we can come back in 3 years.
I was hoping you will ask the first question to Nadiya, like ladies first, but okay. So in 3 years' time, I see Imagine Live playing as one of the key players in array of the live casino, and dictating and then technological development, advanced technologies. That's the direction we are taking, and that's where I would like to see Imagine Live in 3 years' time. In terms of the market, I still believe that the live casino will remain as a live casino. Human interaction will be there. There will be some advanced technologies integrated there, here, some new games, new game shows, which we will be considering the AI and these avatars, etc. But it will be still as a kind of game shows. The blackjack will remain as a blackjack, and the roulette will remain a roulette, definitely. And I think there is a huge room to enhance and make it the live casino more advanced for the players. And we will be driving to that direction, and will be one of the key players definitely in the market, dictating also the technological development, enhanced technologies, speed, and not discounting the quality. As far as I'm there, I commit that the quality will never be discounted for the live casino, so we'll be keeping the highest content for the operators and most importantly for the players.
Nadiya?
What I have left. What I think that there would be in the next years, there would be definitely 5 to 7 major players in the live casino space dictating the trends, not limited to 2 or 3 like right now. there would be shift versus localization and so on, because it's already happening. And the technology as well, I agree about it, because when we mention technology, it's not just technology behind the scene, but also equipment which people are using. And you need to invest in high quality equipment to deliver high quality in general. So you cannot compromise on it. And something interesting which I would be keen personally to see is the location of the studios, because at the moment it's mainly concentrated in Europe. So redundancy is also important. Can you just switch? Or like you told me, one of the USPs that we can, for example, certain studios, the boss can control from the different location because of the technology as well behind the scenes and so on. So we can open a studio in your country, but basically take certain elements of control.
Because it's 24/7 business. It's a human interaction, and a business continuity is a key there.
Yeah.
You can't commit 24/7 SLA for your operators if you don't have that business continuity plans there, and that's a key element there. What if this happens? So you need to have answers to all these questions. And as I said a while ago, it's a complex business. It's not just an RNG game. So it's probably one of the complex products in the gaming industry, live casino, because a lot of elements plus a human is a part of your game. So that's kind of requires 24/7 very tight management, control, cost discipline, efficiency. And when you combine everything together, I think and that's the answer to you why we are having at the moment few concentrations around the live casino, because not everybody is investing that much in one single product. But we are committed to this, and I think we are
the smart people.
Yes.
Yeah, it is good people. Yeah. I had the pleasure actually of visiting the Imagine Live studios in Armenia a while back, and I can attest to the fact that the quality of those studios were just remarkable. Like I visited a lot of game studios at this point, but the studio we saw that was like, I mean, it's top quality, really, really impressive to see, and it really shows the mission that you guys are on to not cut corners and to do things right. And to your point as well, actually creating an environment that is comfortable as well for the dealers themselves to feel happy and so on. That's something that really stood out to me. So thank you so much for traveling over here today, visiting our studio. So I'm happy, like I said, that you guys are setting up shop in Malta. The little island is still at the top of its game when it comes to the gambling industry here and so on. And Nadia, congratulations to the new gig. Both you and Amnon, the band is back together.
Thank you.
As it should be, and really happy that you shared your insights here with me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Pierre. It was a pleasure to be, and I think we had a very insightful discussion, and thank you very much for this discussion.
Anytime. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks.